Everybody. So before we start the class, as we just recite the verses about generating bodhicitta, page number 4, the daily meditation practice. The first sentence mainly for generating bodhicitta. So how usually we should cultivate bodhicitta? Therefore, inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence. So first you need to visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly your Guru or Buddha Shakyamuni. They should think today in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I cultivate, I generate the bodhicitta for benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, first you take a refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. This is according to the Mahayana Buddha, fully awakening being. Dharma, mainly the emptiness and bodhicitta. Sangha, the practitioner who fully reach to the seeing paths. So you should think, I will take refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. How long? Until I reach full enlightenment. Not just enlightenment, full. Mean completely overcome from sufferings and cause of suffering. Completely achieve all the good qualities, therefore at full enlightenment. Then just generate bodhicitta. In order to generate bodhicitta, we need certain condition. Therefore, first taking refuge to the triple gem is mean you are trying to accumulate the merit for generating bodhicitta. Second, if you have, when we have the great negative karmas, so we cannot generate bodhicitta. Therefore, we need to confess the negativities individually, each of the negativities. Then the best way to accumulate merit, I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings, include Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Here you must remember, when you make a rejoicement, the people who are equal to you, then you can have equal positive karma. When you rejoice the good activities who are better than you, who are greater than you, then you can accumulate, better or greater positive karmas. Therefore, when you make a rejoicement, you can rejoice who are, not superior than you, also who are equal to you, who are more superior to you, you can make a rejoicement, all beings who have been doing all the positive actions. Then due to the merit of virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into the enlightened state. So here, how we can achieve the Buddhahood? Due to the merit, this virtuous action, those are the cause to achieve Buddhahood. So then we add here, I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha. That means you don't want to take many years, many eons to become Buddha. You want to achieve the Buddhahood very quickly. How? Through practice of bodhicitta, emptiness together. So before we start the class, everybody please visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly and you are the root Guru. In the sky, in form of us. And take refuge into Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. Until we become fully enlightenment. I wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Therefore, we must confess, purify all the negative karma we have accumulated in the past until now. Make a rejoice all the good qualities, all the qualities all the virtues accumulated by the being who are lower than you, who are equal to you, who are superior to you. Just rejoice all the positive actions. Again, seriously think, I really want to be Buddha in this lifetime. For what? For benefit all sentient beings. How we can be Buddha? Through practice of bodhicitta, emptiness. In order to practice bodhicitta, emptiness, we must cultivate the bodhicitta. We must realize emptiness as well. In order to do that, we need to know how to cultivate, how to realize emptiness. Therefore, we need to study. We need to study the Dharma. Therefore, we should think today we are going to study about the Buddhist science and psychology in order to cultivate bodhicitta, in order to realize emptiness. the Buddha, which is we wish to achieve, the suffering we always wish to eliminate, both of them arise from causes and condition. Therefore, in the last class, we studied about the cause and condition. So in order to know what is the real actual causes and condition for the bodhicitta, for the wisdom, first we need to study based on the external phenomena. Therefore, in the past, we study what is the cause of the rice seedling, what are the conditions of the rice seedling. The rice seeds is the cause, primary cause, substantial cause. Then the four elements, water, the soil or fertilized, then the heat or warmness, air, space, those are the condition, those are the common cause, not the particular cause. Then also we study about the effect. Also cause has two types, direct, indirect. Also effect has two types, direct, indirect. So today, in the last class, we have, we studied about the Dharma, that we believe, we accumulated a lot of merit and virtues. All of them can be cause for becoming Buddha. Cannot be direct cause, it can be indirect cause. Due to the virtuous action, we will take another human life. So we will reborn as a human. Then we continuously study Dharma. Then in the future, so we will become a Buddha. The Buddha can be indirect effect. So today study and today's practice. Then cause and effect. After that, also we learn all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Then we studied about the definition. We learn the definition of impermanence phenomena, impermanence. The thing, the phenomena which depend on causes and condition, we name conditioned phenomena. All the conditioned phenomena subject to be changed. Therefore, the things which belong to us, the people, the person who are our relative, the place where we will live, the body which is we have, the mind which is we have, everything are conditioned phenomena subject to change. All the conditioned phenomena is changing because of its own causes and condition. When the causes and condition has changed, the effect can be changed. Therefore, the ignorance, all the afflict emotions, all the negative karmas are the cause to arise sufferings. problem, unpleasant, in order to reduce the suffering, unhappiness, problems, unpleasant things, first we need to change, we need to reduce the karmas. We need to minimize the karmas, negative karmas. In order to change, in order to reduce the negative karmas, so we need to change, we need to minimize all the afflictive emotions. All the emotion can be changed if we are able to change the ignorance. The ignorance can be reduced, can be minimized, can be eliminated when we realize the emptiness. Therefore, all sufferings arise from causes and condition. All emotion arise from causes and condition. Ignorance also arises from causes and condition. Therefore, all of them subject to change, impermanence. Then we also study about permanent. If there's an impermanent phenomena, there must be permanent phenomena. Without permanent phenomena, we cannot name it as a impermanent. For example, if there's no big, phenomena, there cannot be small phenomena. If there's no short phenomena, there cannot be long phenomena, because short and longs are dependent. Not dependent arising each other, they are dependent each other. Permanent and impermanent also dependent each other, not dependent arising each other, not. Based on permanent phenomena, that we can name something impermanent. So permanent means the phenomena which is devoid the three characteristics. What are they? What are the three characteristics? Arising, ceasing, endurance. The first, we need to know the definition, the meaning of arising. Things have been arising, things arise because it depends on it causes and condition. The things arise only for one moment. The second moment, first moment arise, just arise is be named enduring. The second moment is going to decay, cannot stay more than one moment. Therefore, the permanent phenomena cannot have the characteristic which is arising, ceasing, and enduring. They don't have ceasing because they don't have arising, permanent phenomena. Within the permanent phenomena, then we learn there's three types of permanent phenomena. Space, then second, cessation, third, non-analytical cessations. Then we study about space. There are two different views according to the lower school, according to the higher school. According to the lower school, the space is kind of substantial phenomena. According to the higher school, the space is not substantial. It is fully permanent. Now here you must remember the definition of space according to the lower Abhidharma and higher Abhidharma, permanent. Also you must know the meaning of analytical cessation, non-analytical cessation. The non-analytical cessation means the practitioner sees the particular negative thoughts. It is not mainly sees based on applying the antidotes. It sees because there's no enough condition to arise. For example, when you chase, when you get out, when you're able to get out the thief from your house, that means the thief is no more in your house. But you haven't locked the door. That means there's a possibility to come back again. The negative karma, the negative thought cease because of lack of enough condition. It doesn't mean it completely cease because it not cease by applying antidotes. That means the cessation not achieved mainly using the antidotes. Therefore we call non-analytical cessation. Right? Then analytical cessation means the cessation achieved mainly applying the antidotes. Cessation. Then after that, also we learn another types of cessations, right? How many types of cessation? Mainly then there's another space, analytical cessation, non-analytical cessation, and plus suggestness. Right? Am I right or wrong? Suggestness, right? Yes. Space, analytical cessation, non-analytical cessation, and suggestness. Within the meaning of suggestness, there's how many? There's 8. What are they? Number 1, suggestness of auspicious things. Suggestness of the auspicious thing. Here, auspicious, inauspicious refer to the positive action and negative action. Right? So we always have a strong wishing to accumulate positive karma. We always have a strong wishing to eliminate the negative karma. But the positive karma, negative karma, the positive action, negative action, the both of them, the nature is emptiness. When you compare the nature of positive and negative karma, the nature is exactly same. That means positive and negative. The suggestness of the neutral things. That means positive karma, negative karmas, or the neutral karmas, their nature is same. There's no any difference. As well, so we really wish to become a Buddha. The nature of the Buddha, the nature of the sentient beings, the nature of the ignorance, the nature of the wisdom are same. There's no difference in the nature. Therefore, 3. The number 4, space. Suggestion of the space. Permanent of space. Then analytical, non-analytical. Then 7.1, immovable. The 8, cessation of the discernment and the feeling. This is very important. When you, for example, when you reach to the certain level of the practice, It's nothing to do with the practice of bodhicitta, emptiness, no. So you always think, the desire realms, the feeling is very gross. The form beings, the formless realm has a feeling. The feeling is more subtle, more pleasant. You discriminate between, the two types of feeling. Then slowly your mind can be changed. Then when you go, your practice very, the deep, very deep level, reach to very deep, that means slowly you cease the pleasant feeling. You don't have a pleasant feeling. You have only the neutral feeling. Then finally, you are able to cease, any kinds of feeling. Therefore, is mentioned discernment and feeling. So this kind of person can be remain this kind of the meditation state for many eons. It's nothing to do with the practice of dharma. Okay, next we start the new topic. Right, the chapter number 13. Chapter 13. 12 we'll study about unconditioned phenomena. 11 cause and effect. Clear? Okay. Other presentation of the ascertainable objects. These things are very important. Definitions. Then defined. Then instance. When logician engage in the quest of discovering the nature of reality as a means to understanding the ultimate truth, they utilize categories such as a subject, predicate, thesis, proof, definition, definiendum, and so on. So the truth, the reality, you cannot just simply discover. You need to use a lot of logics and reasoning. Therefore, number 1, subject. Number 2, predicate. Number 3, thesis. Number 4, proof. Then definition, defines, and definiendum. Those are very important. Otherwise, you just simply believe. You don't have a the solid belief. When you use the logics and reasoning, then you will have the belief. You have a solid belief. You cannot be changed very easily. For example, this day, this moment, everybody, we believe in next life. Also, we believe in previous life. And this moment or today, if we meet, very, famous scientist, or if the scientist will explain how emotion arise, if the scientist will explain there's no next life, there's no previous life, everything just, only this life, then slowly our belief will change, because our belief system cannot be very solid. Therefore, whatever we believe, whatever we accept, we must accept. All the accepting or the believing must come from based on logics and reasoning. Right? Therefore, it's so important. Subject, predicate, thesis, proof. Most important, proof. You must prove there's a next life. We must prove there's a karma. We must prove there's a mind. The mind is separate from the brain. The mind is separate from our physical body. Prove. So in order to prove, we need to know the definition. The definition is a very particular meaning, defines and the definendum as soon as, and so on. As listed earlier in the citation from Dharmakirti, exposition of the valid cognition, such as category are identify on the basis of examining even the single object of knowledge from the perspective of its conventional level of reality. There may be single object from the perspective, so we need to know the definition, the meaning. Since these categories, that means the definition or definendum, these categories are more closely related to the way in which the mind engages in object. Generally, this subject, the chapter 13, mainly close to how the mind engage into the object, more close to this topic. But here, look at object in the classical text. They are presented in the section on how the mind engage its object. Generally, this supposed to explain this topic, supposed to explain related to the minds. But here, however, to make it easier for the beginners, right? We all beginners, to engage such a topic, we shall present them in the section on the object of knowledge. That means, so as a beginner, we must explain this topic related to the knowledge of object of knowledge. Right? That means why this topic put here, not put with the, during when they explain the mind. There's a, reason. The Buddhas, to have sentient beings, give perfect explanation by means of distinction between the basis that defines the definendum. So many people think, if I just believe in Buddha, based on believing, if I do a lot of recitation, chanting, that we wish, we really believe I can be Buddha. It's not the right way to think. Yes, in order to become a Buddha, we need to do a lot of recitation, chanting, prostration, making offering. Those are the basic condition. It's not the main condition to become a Buddha. Therefore, in order to become Buddha, we really need to know the reality of your body, reality of your mind, how the mind is functioning, how the body is, exists. We need to know the truth. If we really know the truth, the reality, then for us much easier to become a Buddha. Therefore, look at the Buddhas, to have sentient beings, give perfect explanation. How? By means of the distinction between the basis, defines, and definendum. So Buddha actually taught, the definition, definendum, and basis. Right? There's a three things. The three elements of the definition are respectively, number one. What's the number one? Definendum. Okay, please make sure definendum, because it is translated from Tibetan language. The Tibetan language also translated from Sanskrit. So in English, I don't think you can find the definendum. For example, we say shop, then shopkeeper, eat, eater, right? So we Tibetans say eat, eater, look, looker. That means definition, then definendum. Number one. Number two, definance, okay? Definendum, definance. Number 3, basis. Those are the 3 elements. Number 1, definendum, meaning, the meaning that which is defined, right? What does mean definendum? That which is defined. Defined by one, which? Defined by definition. Right? This we call definend. Then the basis. What does mean basis? That is basis on which the definition is established. Right? That means what is the definition of permanence? Do you remember? What's the definition of the unconditioned phenomena? Please tell me the definition of unconditioned phenomena. Definition. That which is devoid of the three characteristics of arising, ceasing, and enduring. This is the definition of the unconditioned phenomena, right? This is the definition. So, what is the definendum? So, this is the definition, right? The definendum. So, what is the definendum of this definition? Very good. Unconditioned phenomena is the definendum of that which is devoid of three characteristics, which is arising. This is the definition. That's why unconditioned phenomena we name definendum, right? So definendum. So what is the basis? What is the basis of the unconditioned phenomena? For example, space. Now look at definition. Unconditioned phenomena is the definendum. The space is the basis of instance. Basis. Now look at. So how we can say space is permanent, right? Permanent, because space is a phenomena which we can establish as a permanent phenomena because we can think the definition, right? Definition. For example, Singaporean is the person. Then what is the definition of Singaporean? Definition of Singaporean. Okay, can you pause it? We use the pause it, the definition of Singaporean. Citizen of Singapore. Really? Citizen of Singapore. Okay. Does mean what does mean citizen? Who has passport? Not true, right? So what does mean citizenship? Nothing definition. But you can say I'm Singaporean, right? I'm Singaporean, I'm not Malaysian. Why you are Singaporean, why not you are Malaysian? Because, now you think about before you say, you must know the definition. Otherwise, you cannot say, I'm Singaporean, I'm not Singaporean. You cannot say he is Singaporean, he is Singaporean or not. Because you know the meaning, the definition of Singaporean. So what is the definition of Singaporean? Born in Singapore? No. Okay. What's the definition? Yes, born Singaporean also, is not the definition. So what is the definition of Singaporean? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Okay. Whole IC is a Sonam say whole IC. Okay. Pause, please pause the definition of Singapore. Otherwise, you cannot say I'm Singaporean. You cannot say Geshe is not Singaporean. Huh? Okay. Therefore, look at. First, we need to know the definition. The definition, we must then establish, the thing as a permanent. For example, space is a permanent. Space is the basis. Then what does mean basis? Then, which is, okay, the basis, that is the basis on which the definition is established. That means, the space can be established as a permanent phenomena, right? Established, we can accept. Then the vase, like cup is permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, right? So when you say impermanent, you must remember the definition. Okay, based on knowing the definition, then you can say yes, cup is impermanent, because I can establish the definition of the impermanence on the cup, right? So when you really know the meaning of impermanence, then when somebody asks you to please, meditate on impermanence, then you really able to meditate on impermanence. Everything's changing momentarily because of its own causes and condition. Why thing has changing? Why the condition phenomena are changing momentarily? Why? Nobody can change, right? There's no superior or person or power. Somebody is changing. It's changing because of its own causes and condition. For example, you say, "Oh, I'm very sick. I'm very sick." When you say I'm sick, you are sick because of the condition. You got some condition. This condition make you sick. When you say I'm very happy, you are happy because you feel very happy because there's a condition to be happy, right? That means, therefore, you say all condition phenomena are impermanent, is changing momentarily because it causes condition also changing momentarily, right? Therefore, look at this book is depend on my hand. When my hand move, then the book must be moved. The book is moving because the hand is moving. That means this book is changing momentarily because it is cause and condition changing momentarily. So, therefore, we really know the definition of impermanence. Then for you, very easy to, first realize impermanence. Then very easy to meditate on impermanence. Not only that, also you must know the definition of emptiness, definition of bodhicitta. If you don't know the definition of bodhicitta and great compassion, then somebody said to you, or your teacher said, please, generate bodhicitta. Instead of generating bodhicitta, you are generating compassion, right? Oh, teacher said, please cultivate, please generate great compassion. Instead of you are generating compassion, you are generating bodhicitta, because you don't have the particular meaning of great compassion, meaning of bodhicitta. Therefore, it is so important to know the definition. Otherwise, you have a lot of confusion. For example, right, as we talk about what's the definition of Singaporean, right? We never think definition basis. Now, very important here to illustrate this with an example. Example, right? Example, vase. Vase is the basis from the three elements, basis. The object of knowledge is what is the being defined. So what is the object of knowledge is definition of? Do you remember object of knowledge is definition of knowledge, right? Knowledge but object is definition of the knowledge, object. Object. That means vase is the basis, object of the knowledge is what is being defined. That means we can define the vase is as a object of knowledge. That which is fit to be object of the cognition. Object of the cognition. Object of the cognition. That means how we can, posit vase is a basis. Is the defined to elaborate. It is on the basis of knowing. So why we say, the vase is the basis object of knowledge? Because it is on the basis of knowing that the vase is fit to be object of cognition. That means the vase is the basis, because it is to be. It is on the basis of knowing that the vase is to be fit to be an object of cognition. That one can be understood as a vase is being knowledgeable object. That is to say, it is by means of the specific definition that vase can illustrate it as an instant of knowledge of object to someone's mind. That's here. That means the definition, defined, definendum, then basis. 3. Generally, here, in general, there are many different usage of the term, the definition, right? Generally, when you read a book, it's mentioned, many types of definition. These are not the real definition. Generally, we can name. In general, there are many different usage of the term, which is the definition, define, such as the following example. What's the number 1? Specific characteristic. Look at that definition as specific characteristic, such as a heat is the relation to the fire. So heat is the specific characteristic relation to the fire, which is what distinguish fire uniquely from the other entity, right? That means heat. Heat is the specific characteristic of the fire, right? That means when you say fire, when you say heat, the heat is the definition of the fire, is a specific characteristic, which is what distinguish fire uniquely from other. For example, water is a phenomenon, but it is not a fire because it doesn't have a heat. That means it's distinguished from the other phenomena. Therefore, we call specific characteristic. Number 2, general characteristic. That means number one, specific characteristic. Number two, general characteristic. They are not the definition. Just we can name definition, define. What does mean general characteristic? Such as permanence, impermanence. In relation to the fire, which is characteristic shared in common by both fire and other conditioned things that are not fire. That means impermanent is the general characteristic between fire and non-fire. Right? That means non-fire things. That means, okay, before we move third one, yeah. For example, impermanence is the general characteristics. Is it? Yes, general meaning or general characteristic between fire and non-fire. No, here mentioned very particular. Who look at both fire and other conditioned thing. He never mentioned non-fire. Yeah, fire and other conditioned thing that are not fire. That means, look at impermanence can be shared between fire and the non-fire, which is the condition. That means fire is impermanent as well as the non-fire condition also. For example, water. Let's say impermanent is the characteristic, right? Characteristic. The meaning can be share both phenomena, fire and water, right? Because water is impermanent as well, fire is also impermanent. This is general characteristic. For example, human being. The human being is the characteristic can be shared between male and female both, because both of them as a human being. Third was the number 3. Differentiating characteristics, such as the definition made on the basis of single entity. For example, vase, whereby it is a characteristic impermanence on the basis of its exclusion of the permanence, and characterized as a production on the basis of exclusion of the non-production. This has a lot of words. First, differentiating characteristic. That means when some words totally differentiate between two things, two phenomena, such as the definition made on the basis of single entity. For example, vase. Vase is an example whereby it is characterized as a impermanent, right? The vase characterized as a what? Impermanent. When we say the vase is impermanent, then on the basis of its is exclusion of permanence, mean is totally opposite, isolate from permanent. Therefore, from exclusion from the permanent, we can name impermanent. That means one phenomena, okay? One phenomena like a vase. For example, the cup. This cup characterized as a impermanent. Because it's impermanent, we name impermanent because of on the basis of its exclusion of permanent. Exclusion means is isolate, is opposite from the permanent that we call impermanent. The second one, and characterized as a product. Why we characterize as a product? On the basis of is again, right? Again, exclusion of a non-production. That means same phenomena. Look at this cup. Okay, cup or vase. This cup is a single phenomena. Right? It is one or two. This cup, it is one or two. It is just one. It's single phenomena. Right? Single phenomena is so important because when we say this is cup, we are talking mainly is entity, just one phenomena, single phenomena. The single phenomena we characterize as a impermanent on the basis of exclusion from the inclusion of permanent. That means this we name as a impermanent because we isolate it from the permanent phenomena. We name impermanent. Second, single cup we can name as a product on the basis of exclusion, on the basis of its exclusion of non-products. Right? That means this is impermanent on the basis its exclusion from permanent. This is a product on the basis of its exclusion non-product. That means one single phenomena. Actually, there's only one cup. One cup, but we name different ways. We name as a impermanent because on the basis of its exclusion of permanence. We name as a product on the basis of its exclusion from the non-product. That means one phenomena have two names, right? Impermanence, product. Clear? Product. Now I will ask you one question. Is it impermanent? Yes, it is impermanent. Why? On the basis of its exclusion of a permanent, we name impermanent. It is product. Yes, it is product. Because on the basis of its exclusion from non-product. That's why we name product. Clear? It is an object of knowledge. It is existent. It is existent. The cup is existent phenomena. Why we named this is existent phenomena? Now you bring same idea. Why this cup is knowledge of existent phenomena? Yes, because on the basis its exclusion of non-existent phenomena. That means actually there's just single one cup. One cup has a many different meaning. The different meaning because a different exclusion. Now look at there's also for us very easy to understand the cup. Okay, everybody can know what does mean cup. Second, when we think about this is a product or not, also bit difficult to understand the cup is product or not. Yes, or still we can understand the cup is, this is a cup, this is a product. Then third, it is impermanent, it's more difficult to understand. That means there's a layerings, production, first existence, then production, then impermanence. Now, the most subtle one is the cup. Is the cup, its nature is emptiness? Yes, emptiness. This is a product. This impermanence, we should not say directly it's a emptiness. Its nature is emptiness. We cannot say the cup is emptiness. Can we? Cannot. We can say, I can say this is permanent, this is impermanent. I can say in a different way, but what I say cannot be truth. Right? So, why we cannot say this cup is emptiness? Huh? Yeah, nature emptiness. We cannot say directly the cup is emptiness. Is cup is emptiness or not? No. Okay. Why not? This cup is not emptiness. Why it is impermanent? Why it is not emptiness? Huh? Okay. Simply, you can say, related to the unconditioned phenomena. The cup is not emptiness because it is not unconditioned phenomena. It is conditioned phenomena. Emptiness must be unconditioned phenomena. Right? Number one. Number two, you can say the cup is not emptiness because the cup is not ultimate truth. This is conventional truth. This is conventional truth, ultimate truth is contradict. Therefore, why not the cup is emptiness? Because it is not permanent. If it is emptiness, it must be permanent. It's not permanent, it's impermanent because it's a condition, because it has its own causes a condition. Now you can see the connection, permanent, impermanent condition. Okay. But condition, then impermanent, then emptiness of the cup. So first, condition phenomena, very easy to understand. Impermanent, bit difficult. Emptiness, very difficult. That means one phenomena has a different name. The name different because of different oscillation, different exclusion. Okay, therefore, number four, as a defining characteristic that eliminates dissimilar types. Okay, this means number three is differentiating characteristics. For example, condition, impermanence, productions. One phenomena has a different characteristics. Number four, defining characteristic that eliminates dissimilar types, such as posting that which is capable of functioning as a bulbous flight basis, water pores. Right? That means because again it translates from Tibetan language. Tibetan language we call vas, like Pumba. Then the definition of the vas in Tibetan language we say Todir. Todir means, what does mean here? Functioning as a bulbous mean. Yeah. For example, when you see the vas, the lower part is very round, right? because toltir. Then the flight base means jab zoom. Then third one, chugyorgi dungeon nuba. We debated chugyorgi dungeon nuba. This because water pourer is the function of was, such as a definition, eliminates the twin faults of non-privation and over-privation. This is the the meaning of definition. What's the definition of the was? Please pause it. That which is capable of functioning as a bulbous, flat base, water, pour. This is the definition of the was. Okay? When something is the definition to someone, it is eliminates, right? Eliminates the twins faults. What are the twins faults? Non-provision, over-provision. Okay, non-provision, over-provision. What does mean non-provision? Inclusiveness, inclusiveness. And then what does mean over-provision? Extension, right? When the definition must be exact meaning, cannot be totally over-provision, not what you call over-provision and non-provision. Eliminates free from the two problems, right? Non-provision and provision. So please remember the two elements, elimination, non-provision and over-provision. Number 5. A defining characteristic that eliminates the wrong conception, such as those that have been formulated as a definition of the purpose of eliminating the doubts in one's mind. That's when there's a 5, generally there are many different usage of the term. Among the 5, 4 and 5 is the real meaning of the definition. Make sure 4 and 5. For among those, the meaning of definition that is relevant in the context of our topic, right? Differentiating the 3 elements of the defines, definendum and basis. And principally, the 4th. What's the 4th mean? Among the number 4th, right? In the principle, the 4th, namely definition, as a defining characteristic that eliminates the dissimilarity. Among the 5, the 4th is the actual meaning of definition. In principle, the 4th, namely definition of the defining characteristic that eliminates 4th. One should know that such as definition could also include definition as a defining characteristic that eliminates the misconception as well. That means number 4 and 5 is a similar meaning, okay? Similar meaning. Now most important here, for a definition to be defining characteristic, eliminating dissimilarity types, it must be free from following 3 faults, okay? Definition must be something definition, right? Eliminating the dissimilar types, it must be free from the following 3 faults. What are the 3 faults? Faults of non-provision. Number 2, the faults of over-provision. Number 3, the faults of not being present in the instance. This is the, if, for example, something definition to some phenomena mean, this is the definition, then the definition must be free from three faults: not provision, over provision, and fault of not being present in the instance. Now look at, for example, if we were to posit, when we say, if we were to posit that which is possess branches and leaves, I think this is a missing one word. In Tibetan, actually the meaning is, what is the definition of tree? If we were to posit that which is possess branches and leaves as the definition of tree, then it will suffer the faults of the non-provision due to under-provision. So in Tibetan language, it's missing because it just says simply, it said here, possess what? Branches and leaves. Do you remember there's a one English word in one tree? So in English, I think they call juniper, right? Juniper tree. If somebody possess, if we were to possess that which is possess branches and leaves of the juniper is a particular types of tree, right? So what's the definition of tree? What is the definition of tree? Then look at here. If we were to possess that which is possess branches and leaves of the what tree I name? Just juniper. Okay, make sure, which is possess branches and leaves of the juniper is the definition of the tree. Then what's the problem? Then it would suffer the faults of non-provision due to under-preservation, since it would not provide all classes of tree, right? If we were to possess, the definition of the tree is possess branches and leaves of the juniper, then it is not provision, right? Do you know what does provision, not provision mean? Okay, let's say somebody's possess. Somebody says, what's the definition of gold? What is the definition of gold? Which is the thing which has a yellow color. Okay? If you ask me, what is the definition of the gold? And I posit, the definition of the gold is gold, the thing which is yellow. The thing which is yellow, it is the definition of tree. Then you need to challenge with me. How? Then if I posit the thing which is yellow is a gold, definition of gold, then it is not over provision, right? All is a over provision, also non what over provision and non provision, right? So what is the definition of gold? The thing which is yellow. Okay, clear? If I say the thing which is yellow is the definition of gold, then it has two problems. Problems of not provision, problem of over provision. Why it has problems of not provision? Under provision, why? All gold are not yellow. Why? We have a white gold. That means the definition is, under pervasion. Right? That means the definitions cannot be covered for all gold. Some gold is white. It is a gold, but not yellow. And also, all the yellow tree, yellow clothes, right? Yellow tree, yellow clothes, all the yellow things are the thing which is yellow, but those are not gold. That means it has a two problem, under pervasion and not pervasion. That means definition must be free of the twins fall, pervasion and under pervasion. Same thing the tree, right, here. Under the pervasion, since it will be not provide all classes of the tree. Similarly, if one were to set that which is arise from the earth, if the tree definition somebody possess, the thing which is possess branches and leaf, it is not is over pervasion. Or under pervasion, it has a under pervasions. Somebody said definition of the tree is which is arise from earth. Then it's our problem. It will then suffer the falls of over pervasion. That means there are so many things which is arise from earth, not the tree, right? All the other, like for example, grass, flower, those are arise from earth, not the tree, right? So please, everybody, remember next time when you come back the class, remember the 5 types of meaning, the many different usage of the term, definitions of define. There's a 5. Within the 5, 4 is a real one. Also, you must remember the 3 elements: over pervasion, not non pervasions, and being present in the instance. Okay. Next, we study a little bit about again the definition, definiendum, and the basis. Then we will move one and many. One and many. Okay. So please here must you remember, otherwise many people think, also not in Singapore, even though in Tibet, many people think we no need to study about the definition, defines, definiendum, one, many. We no need to learn. We just believe and do practice. Right? Just believe and do practice. Yes, first is true. We can believe. We can believe whatever you want. According to Buddhist tradition, whatever we believe in accept, we must believe, accept based on logic and reasoning. Why we cannot simply accept? If you simply accept, if you simply believe, and whatever you believe, whatever you accept, everything become very fragile. It cannot be solid. Right? That's why you can see, many people, many Buddhist people, particularly many young Buddhists, they easily change their religion, easily convert into different religion, or easily to, give up dharma, because the belief system, whatever they believe, accept, just simply believe, simply accept. Therefore, they're very easy to change. Number one. Number two, why we need to study this one or this is one, this is two, the definition. If you really need to know, if you really know the definition, you have a very clear idea, no confusion. For example, I said, please meditate on impermanence. Suddenly you remember, yes, all conditioned phenomena arise from causes condition. All the causes condition change momentarily. Therefore, all conditioned phenomena is changing very easy. Then there's the layer For example, conditioned phenomena, the impermanence, emptiness. But the phenomena is just one thing, but it has a different meaning, it's a different nature. As a cup, as one nature. Then condition is another nature. Impermanence, another nature. Emptiness are different nature. Then why we need to learn in permanent, impermanent? If you don't really know all conditioned phenomena are impermanent, then look at, in our mind always attached to something. For example, when you have a new house, your mind fully, strongly attached to the house. When you see some crack, you feel very upset, you feel very angry, because you thought this house is kind of permanent, it's very solid. Actually, no, right? Therefore, when you know I have a house, I have a nice house, I have a nice car, I have a good friend, I have a good family, yes, we must believe, we appreciate, also must know those are impermanent, subject to change. Then, even though you have, I don't think you can really strongly attach it on it, strongly clinging on it, because you know it's going to, change anytime. It's going to disappear anytime. It's going to lose anytime. Right? There's impermanence, permanent. Then the definition. Now you can see very clearly what does mean tree. Oh, this is the definition of tree. All tree must be like that. That thing doesn't have this kind of characteristic. It cannot be tree. For example, definition of Singapore. If you know definition of Singapore, then you can say, yes, this person is Singaporean, this person is that person not Singaporean, because you have a very clear definition, clear understanding. Therefore, please read, when you have free time, please read, page by page, and make a summarize, make a conclusion about, each of the topic. Okay, any question? No question? Okay, then we can do the dedication prayers.